Wealth is about freedom. The one thing that, getting to an income bracket that I've gotten to has given me is the ability to live my life on my terms. It's still not the money that'll make you happy, but it's about freedom. Not being a slave to a system, not living a life that you don't want to live. And so many people see that different. They think that if you want money, if you want to be rich, if you want to be wealthy, that's a bad thing. And that's not true. And so my point is that you should work on yourself internally and work on your satisfaction, your happiness, your contentment, which is really your purpose, and then also work on creating the life you want to live and the freedom to live it.
You know what the best feeling is? It's not the McLarens, the Ferraris, the Lambos. The best feeling in the world is waking up knowing that whatever you want to do today, you can, with whoever you want, wherever you want. If you want to go to the other side of the world, you book a ticket and you go. That freedom is one of the best feelings in the world.
Freedom in every possible way. Some people chase money. Some people chase dreams. Some people chase fantasies. I chase freedom, fam. I want to stretch my hands, feel no walls. I want to stand as tall as I possibly can and be as far from the ceiling as possible. I'm chasing freedom.
Learn to make wise decisions. Wise decisions about yourself, your organization, your family, your future. Develop all the skills necessary to make your fortune. And by the way, speaking of fortune, jot this down. One of the early goals you should set, the goal to become financially independent as quickly as possible. Financial independence means the ability someday to live from the income of your invested resources. I want you to get there as quickly as possible. Someday you could, if you wanted to, live from the income of your invested resources so that now you can work for joy and not for necessity.
Financial freedom means that you have enough money so that you don't worry about money. Now, some people have a tendency to say, well, success is just simply a matter of money and they're not interested in money. But the fact of the matter is that money is important. It takes money to buy clothes and books and to go to school and buy medical attention and to travel and to have all the good things in life. And every one of it, in order to be a success, has to reach the point where we know we have the capacity to earn enough money so that we don't worry about money. We have to reach the point where we can turn our minds to other things, higher things, to our relationships, to our health, to the improvement of our minds, to the expansion of our emotional and our spiritual life. But we all have to have the ability to earn more money. And the great majority of people, unfortunately, don't earn enough by their own estimation.
And the reason why is because we don't understand how money plays a part in our lives. Money is just one part of our lives. You're right, money is not going to make you happier. Money is not going to make you a better person. Money is not going to make you a good person. However, if you don't have money and if you don't understand money, well, that lack of money can impact your mental health. It can make you stressed, anxious, depressed. It is one of the leading causes of divorce. If you don't have money, you can start eating bad. You can't afford healthier food. You can't have the right gym membership. You don't have time to take care of your family. If you don't have money, you can't buy your spouse that nice vacation that they keep asking about. You can't take care of your kids the way that you might have wanted to. You can't give your kids the vacations. You can't give your kids the opportunities that maybe you want. Maybe you can't even buy the health care that you want, because the reality, and this is, unfortunate or fortunate, the reality of the way the system is money talks. And if you don't understand money, then you're going to be at the mercy of people who have money.
When you were young, was it a big dream to be rich?
Yes, because money is freedom. And anybody who says they don't care about being rich is saying they don't care about being free.
What was the dream for you though?
Freedom. Money is freedom. Anyone who says, oh, I don't care about money, I don't care about fancy things. It's not about fancy things. It's the ability to go where you want and sleep where you want and say what you want and think what you want and talk to who you want and even get the girl you want and drive the car you want and eat the food you want. To sit and say I don't care about money is to say I don't care about my own personal freedom. I have no problems being a slave and being constrained by the financial system and being told what to do because I don't have any desire to be free.
The whole idea of being an entrepreneur, I say that to anybody listening to this, is you're buying your freedom. You're working really hard to one day have financial freedom. It's not about the greed of money, it's about the greed of wanting to be free. And that's what I think. And so I do things that I really enjoy, and I look at my schedule each week with Nancy, who runs it, and I say, no, I don't want to do that, don't want to do that, don't want to do that. Let's do this, do this, do this. Why? Because I can. And I wish everybody gets to that place. There's nothing worse than feeling that you're enslaved and doing something you don't want to do. You're not in that situation, I'm not, and I wish everybody achieves in their life freedom. And now that may be that you have to provide some financial stability to your life, but you don't need to be uber wealthy to get it. It's just what is free to you. And I just don't think you should work for somebody your whole life. You should figure out how to work for yourself at some point.
The first step to building wealth is to start with the money mindset, the beliefs that you have around money, and understand, number one, that you can become wealthy. Not just that you can become wealthy, you will become wealthy. And that money is abundant. There's a lot of money in the world, right? When people start to enter this financial education space, we start to assume that if you're rich, I can't be rich. If you have money, I can't have money. So it starts to create that jealousy or just this negative association with, oh my God, I don't want to tell you my business idea because what if you steal it and take my money? Well, both of us can have money because there's a lot of money in the world. If you look at it from a financial perspective, the Federal Reserve Bank is printing trillions and trillions of dollars. There's a lot of money out there. You just need a small sliver of it and you can have millions and live a life of true financial freedom.
You must become rich in mind long before you become rich in life, because wealth is not dollars. Wealth is not gold. Wealth is not status. Wealth is a frequency, and your mind is either tuned into it or tuned out of it. And the difference? Belief. The mind is the master power that molds and shapes your reality, and every thought you allow to live rent-free in your head becomes a brick in the house you're building, the house of your destiny. If you think small, you live small. If you think fear, you live in chains. But if you think abundance, if you breathe it, see it, speak it, walk with it, your life must follow. Not because of magic, but because of alignment.
Well, you have to use money to get whatever you want, I suppose. You want to know that money should never stop you. If you're letting money control your decisions, you're on the wrong track. You should never let money stop you. If I really want something, then all I do is think of how I can get it. I don't spend 5 seconds thinking of why I can't. Don't ever let the lack of money stop you from going after what you want. Ever.
What would be the practical steps that they could start to apply in their life and transform it into peace, freedom, and financial and emotional abundance in their life?
That is a really good question, and what we're doing now is the answer to that question. It has to begin with knowing that you have a choice. First of all, so many people believe that there is no choice because they have been conditioned and indoctrinated to believe that they are powerless victims of a world around them that they have no control over, and that they are a flawed form of life that needs something outside of their body. It's very difficult to break through those patterns if you are not willing to accept the truth of your humanness and the power and responsibility that comes with being a human.
That there's a difference between making money and building wealth. But we're obsessed with, I want to make that money, I want to get that dollar, I want to get that bag, I want to get that cash. You know, anybody can make money and anybody can lose it. That's why you can get a $100 million NBA contract and be dead broke in 5 years.
Right.
You build wealth in your sleep.
You need to know what money is. What is money? Right now, pause the video. What is money? Define it. Most of you guys could not literally define what money is. Who can create it? How much can they create? What gives them the authority? Right? All these things you need to learn them. Most of you guys don't have money because you don't understand anything about money. You don't know what money is. Therefore, money eludes you. But if you want to attract money, you must first understand what it is.
We've also found that the great majority of people in our society, after a lifetime of well-paid work, retire broke. They retire poor, they retire on pension. Only 1% become wealthy, only 5% become financially independent, 15% have some savings, and 80% are dependent on others. The average savings, lifetime savings of a retired couple in America or Canada today is less than $60,000. That's after earning between $500,000 and $1 million in an average working lifetime. Well, why is this? The number one reason is that we come into this world without an instruction manual. You can go through your entire education and never be taught anything about that. I personally believe that there should be a course on success at every single grade level, in every single school, in every single college and university. We come into the world like a computer. But imagine a computer. Imagine that you bought a beautiful, sophisticated computer and you took it home. And you took it out of the box and you set it up. You had no instruction manual, but you had to figure out how to work out the computer all by yourself. Or imagine a combination lock. You can give it a beautiful combination lock that is on a box that contains everything that you ever want, but you don't know the combination. We come into the world with no instruction manual, and we spend our whole lives trying to figure out how to do things right. Well, the key to success is, first of all, what we call understanding, learning how to do things right.
When people ask me, why is it that so many people are poor and struggling with money? I say there's two things at fault. And there's two ways you can look at it. There's the it's your fault and the my fault. And I always like to talk about both of these because you have to understand this. Because it ties in very well, and I appreciate all the kind words because I really do appreciate that. But when I say it's your fault, look, our economic system is designed to profit off of people being financially stupid. Period. Banks profit when you're financially stupid because that means you stay in debt and they keep making interest for the rest of your life. Corporations profit when you're financially illiterate because that means you're going to keep buying their stuff and not think twice. And they're going to hire the best and smartest MBAs to get you to open up their wallets, to open up your wallets. Number three, the government is going to profit when you're financially illiterate because that means you don't do anything outside of your W-2 job and you're going to pay the highest tax rates. You profit when you're financially educated. So now what can you do? You can say, they're the reason I'm broke. This company is the reason why I'm broke. My company is the reason why I'm broke. The government's the reason why I'm broke. The banks are the reason why I'm broke. Well, that's not what I'm saying. That's just part one. The second part to part one, before I get to part two, is once you understand this, you can learn how to win. You can learn how to use the bank. You can learn how to use corporations because you want to have nice stuff. You can learn how to use the resources that the government has. But now let's flip the script. The second part to this that you need to understand, it's your own responsibility. Because if you spend every dollar that you earn, you're never going to become wealthy. If every time you make money, you go on a nice vacation, you're never going to build wealth if you can't afford it. If you just make money and you make everybody else around you rich before you make yourself rich, that's your choice.
Stop buying coffee for $5.50. You go to work, you spend $15 on a sandwich. What are you, an idiot? It costs you 99 cents to make a sandwich at home and bring it with you. You start to add that up every day, it's a ton of money. Most people, particularly working in metropolitan cities that are just starting out of their job, making their first $60,000, piss away about $15,000 a year on stupid stuff. And that's what they should stop doing.
3 reasons you'll never be rich. Number 1, you don't understand the purpose of money. 2, you make money too slowly. Number 3, you hate rich people. Say, how can that keep me from being rich? Number 1, you don't understand the purpose of money. Poor people think the primary purpose of money is paying bills. That's why they will always be broke. People are not rich because they have more money. They have more money because they're rich. Middle class people think the primary purpose of money is to pay their bills on time so they can maintain good credit, so they can buy more things that they really can't afford. Rich people understand the primary purpose of money is to make more money. Until you shift your mindset, you'll never be rich. Number 2, make money too slowly. Wealth is measured more in time than money. You have to learn to make money faster, not make more money. Already make enough money, just don't make it fast enough. Take your annual income and you turn it into your weekly income. Congratulations, you are rich. Number 3, you hate rich people. You hate rich people, you'll never be rich because you'll never work to become something you despise.
And not just that, understanding that money is a tool. Because the reason why we put these smoke screens around money, that money's bad, it's taboo, it's evil, is because many times people are insecure about their own money. And so when I can't go out and buy that nice vacation for my kids, I can't buy my husband that thing that he wants, I can't buy my wife that YSL or Gucci purse that she wants, I can't go on the nice vacations, well, money's bad. We shouldn't stress about money. It's these stupid vacations. We don't need those. We can enjoy our time here. It's such a scam to go out there and sit on an all-inclusive beach and have food delivered to you, right? I mean, we start to create these smoke screens where, why would anybody want to have an expensive car like that? Why would anybody want to have these nice and expensive things?
Judging people who have money,
And so now it's, you know what, if you don't want it, that's completely fine, but make sure you can afford it. And understanding now, money is not going to make you a good person. It's also not going to make you a bad person. It's just a piece of paper. It's fuel. It amplifies who you are. When you have more of that money, you can do more of the things that money can buy. One of those things is have freedom, have options. Options to choose what you want to buy, options to choose where you want to eat, options to choose when you want to go on vacation, not just can you go on vacation, and options to choose how you want to live your life. And not just that, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, it also can influence what type of health care you can get, what type of healthcare your parents can get, what type of healthcare your kids can get, what type of college your kids can go to, what type of education your kids can go to. It matters. And so now at the end of the day, you can hate it or you can understand it.
I just understood that there was a version of reality that I had yet to experience. I saw my parents struggle to pay the bills, and I saw my friends struggle to pay the bills, and I saw everyone around me unable to eat, and then I saw certain people with $500,000 cars, and I understood there must be a different version of reality. There must be a version of making money, a version of banking, of finance, of education, of knowledge, of network, of connections that existed outside the matrix. There has to be a different world. This world I'm in, everyone's poor, this is garbage. That world, I can see people are living a reality that I can't even fathom. I couldn't even imagine having $500,000 for a car.
Or a $500,000 watch.
Or 20 of them. But I couldn't imagine it.
If someone's watching and listening right now and they're saying, you know what, I really want to generate more financial freedom for my life. And if you could give them one piece of advice on creating financial freedom from your perspective, what would that be?
Create more value for other people. And people don't understand that. Money is, you get money by creating value for others, and then they trade with you.
Yeah.
And so if one of the challenges in business I'm always putting to my team is like asking this question again and again and again and again. How do we create more value? What are we not giving our members or our customers that would enrich their lives and make them happier, make them more fulfilled? And so as long as you're thinking about and you're constantly improving your offering to create more value, then you're going to become wealthier. Those go together, and people separate those out and then they forget.
Because I came to something that I call the quadruped theory. And the way that I put it is there's 4 aspects of life. If you want to live a happy and fulfilled life, you have to be healthy in these 4 aspects. First, you have to be physically fit. Second, you have to be mentally fit. Third, you have to be spiritually fit. And fourth is financially fit. And the way I put it in this order is because physically, if you're not physically fit, if you're morbidly obese, you're on your deathbed, it doesn't matter if you have $10 million. The only thing you care about is being healthy again. Second, mentally fit. If you are depressed, if you're anxious, if you are not surrounded by people that you love, if you're not happy, having more money is just going to make you more miserable. And this is a big misconception out there where I know people in my own personal life, I'm sure you do too, where people are like, if I just make $1 million, I'm gonna find the love of my life. I'm gonna be liked. People are gonna want to talk to me. You start to imagine this world where money is gonna solve the mental aspect of your life, but that's not the case. It's its own aspect. So more money will not make you mentally happy. Then is a spiritual aspect, and this doesn't have to be religious. This is your purpose. For me, it's what is the reason why you're on this earth? What are you waking up for every single day? If you don't have a purpose, you're not going to have a reason to get out of bed no matter how much money you have. After you have the physical fitness, the mental fitness, the spiritual fitness, that's where the financial fitness has the biggest impact and the most power to help you live the most fulfilled life, because now money is just the icing on the cake, man. It allows you to live a more fulfilled and a happy life, because now you can do more of the things that make you happy. You can give more. You can buy more food for homeless people. You can do more things that give you happiness. Maybe it is writing books. Maybe it's traveling. Maybe it is giving. Maybe it is starting businesses. Whatever it is for you, you have the resources and the ability to do that, but that requires you to have that financial education and be willing to now go out of the way to talk about money and learn about money and understand that, hey, money is something that I need to understand. Money is something that I need to be willing to talk about. Money is something that I need to be willing to learn about, because most of us are never taught to think about money, myself included.
If I was broke today, if I had nothing, what would I do?
Yeah, what's the step-by-step process?
There are 4 things that we need to do and do very well in order to manifest a miracle.
What is that?
In order to manifest the miracle of abundance, wealth, love, whatever it is you're looking for. What are the 4 quadrants? Spiritual work, which I'll define. There's physical work, certainty, and prayer. Often, the reason why people are working so hard but not seeing the miracle is they might only be focused on one of those 4 quadrants and investing all their energy in that one, but ignoring the other 3, or maybe just 3 out of the 4. It's when you hit all 4 that the gates open.
Money is not the cure for poverty. No, you're naive if you think that.
No, it's not the cure for being discontent either. But it does offer you freedom if you use it correctly.
And
that can
opportunity.
give you an opportunity. So
Yeah.
it give you some relief from stress, which can give you some kind of happiness, but it's not the goal.
No. Well, it has to be put in an ethical framework, or it'll just look. Money's opportunity. That's a way of thinking about it. And if you're going to the devil and you have money, you just go to the devil faster. I saw that lots of times in my clinical practice. And maybe if you're aiming upward, then money can be a force multiplier, and it can be.